No.
Für mich bist du ein Traum, den zu erreichen gilt. Ich würde so gerne wissen, wie's weitergeht. Für mich bist du der Mond, der mir die Nacht aufhält. Ich würde so gerne glauben, dass es funktioniert. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Du bist mein Traum. Yeah, 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 yeah. Du bist mein Traum. Für mich bist du der Weg, den man zu Ende geht. Ich will es gar nicht einsehen. Ist es wirklich schon so spät? Für mich bist du der Wunsch, den zu erfüllen gibt. Es wird sich niemals ändern, das Gefühl für dich. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Du bist mein Traum. Yeah, 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 yeah. Du bist mein Traum. Für mich bist du ein Traum. Yeah, yeah. Den zu erreichen gilt. Yeah, yeah. Ich würde so gerne wissen, wie's weitergeht. Du bist mein Traum. Yeah, 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 yeah. Du bist mein Traum. Yeah, yeah. Du bist mein Traum.
All right then, and welcome. Here we are once again to Justice Radio Network, Stories from the Heart. Here we are once again. Welcome everybody, welcome Libby.
Thank you.
See you all here. Yeah. Welcome everyone who is here. We're glad to always see you here. And tonight we've got some stories to share from mostly Arizona and journeys to and from or whatever. And we've also got Cynthia on the line, who's going to be commenting on some of Eagle's writing and such forth, from what I understand. So, yeah, we're glad to be here as always. I'm, as ever, on my travels. I've been traveling all around, and I'm now preparing to get back to the land known as Florida, to spend the winter there and look after some horses and organise some chaos, so that would be good. And yeah, it's all good. And then spring I'll be back on to North Carolina for more adventures. Looking forward to that too. And how are you doing, Libby? You've been doing some creating.
Oh, I've been having so much fun. I'm learning how to make slippers, socks, shoes potentially, just with crochet hooks, and it's just amazing, that feeling of practicality when you can create something that's going to be really helpful to people. And to us in the household, but to keep our feet warm. But as I'm doing it, I'm seeing the potential, as you and I talked earlier about doing it with hemp or doing it with rope, or as long as I have a hook that will hook it, I got it. And it's so much fun. It's just like, oh, wow.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Well, I have to tear it apart and then start again, and it's almost like life. It's like you got to just get rid of stuff and then rebuild, right? So it's quite a few. It's good for me. But anyways, I see that Cynthia's there, and do you want to say something, Cynthia?
Yes.
Hi, welcome. Glad that you made it.
Thank you.
Hope you're feeling a little bit better.
Thankfully, I got liquid turmeric, which seems to definitely help, whereas the powder, which goes through the colon, does not help with the urinary tract, obviously. So I went back to the liquid turmeric for the urinary tract.
Okay. Interesting. Well, that's good. Well, that turmeric is good stuff for many things, so let's hope it's yeah, it's helping my joints. Cool. And have we got Bird and Eagle and Amara on the line? We know we got you guys there somewhere, but
yeah, but I think we have them. I believe both Bird and
unmute them. Let's see what's going on there now. I've unmuted them. So. Hey guys. Okay, maybe they're not ready to.
Eagle here. Amari is calling from. Hello. Amari is calling from her phone, so I'm gonna mute,
Okay.
and then when and listen, and that way it's easier to hear. Okay.
Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, if everybody would mute while Amara is talking. What's your story, sister? We want to hear how it's going.
Hello?
Hi. Go ahead.
Hi. Oh, you can't hear me. I'm sorry.
No,
It just sounds really weird because I can hear my own voice from far away.
Okay.
So I'm moving over here by the garden, a beautiful garden that Bird and Eagle put together. And so, hi, how you all doing?
We're doing great, and we were hoping last week that you would have a chance to share your story, but you didn't. So tell us your updates. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, and I'm very happy to share my journey with everyone. I left on November 2nd from Massachusetts, and I traveled safely and beautifully and with lots of rest on the bus on my way to Buffalo, New York. When I arrived at Buffalo, New York, I was detained by the bus driver that works for Greyhound, stating that he needed or required some form of ID, to which I responded, I have been traveling all this time from Massachusetts, and you are the first to ask me that, and I will not be providing an ID because I do not break the law, and it's illegal to use a legal name. And he was very angry and said no to that he was not going to accept that. And I could feel his energy very excited in a very angry fashion. So I did not want to I chose not to bump heads with him at that moment. So I remained quiet, and I waited for a while, and again, I stated to him, well, I would like to continue traveling, and therefore I'm going to get on the bus. And he said, no, I'm not going to allow that. If you want to work this out, why don't you go to the front desk? And I said, okay, I will do that. And so I went to the front desk of Greyhound Station in Buffalo, New York, spoke to whoever was in charge there at the time. And she, again, I met a very strong ego that is very attached to the program and was saying, no, you got to show an ID. And I reminded her in a very gentle manner that I have been traveling all this time, and I did not cause harm to anyone, and I would like to continue traveling. And I spoke to her in a very gentle manner, but she was perceiving me as if I was being belligerent somehow, and said, you cannot raise your voice at me, and I am the authority here, and you need to provide an ID. And I said, ma'am, I am not raising my voice. You are. And I have already informed you that I've been traveling peacefully and resting in a very restful manner. I have been enjoying my travels, and I simply would like to continue to do so. Of which it made her even more angry because I said that so nicely. So I just waited very patiently, and she said, "You better go get your bags." And I said, "Okay." In that moment, I felt in my own soul that I was not going to engage in an argument or anything like that. So I peacefully went and got my luggage, and I waited patiently within my own heart, knowing that creation would somehow make a way. So I just surrendered to whatever was about to unfold, knowing that it was going to be okay. And in the process of me getting the suitcases, it apparently gave them a little time to cool down. They saw that I was peacefully doing what they had requested of me, and then so I kept staring and looking into their eyes, both the driver and the woman behind the desk. And then I finally spoke, because they were very quiet, and I said, "As you can see, I am a wonderful, lovely human being, and I wish no one no harm, and I would like to continue on my travels. Could you please, honor that? I want to get home to my family. It's all I want to do, just like everybody else." And in that moment when I finished saying that, I could see in their eyes and feel in my heart and in my being that they were responding to that, because it's like I could feel them melt, their hearts melting, and they didn't seem or appear to be angry anymore. And so there was a moment of silence for a while, and then the woman behind the desk said, "Well, okay, I'm going to put you on the bus, but you got to pay $20. Now, when she said that, I immediately knew that they were just trying to make money off of me. Because she just said she was going to put me back on the bus. Now, I could have continued to fight that and say and give in, and I would have if I had the energy, but I had to recognize within myself that at that point in time, for me, being the emotional, lovely, beautiful being that I am, I spent those last 2 weeks on a go and getting things done, shipping the bike and saying goodbyes, because I knew a lot of people knew me, and I really had one-on-ones with many people. And so I was really tired, and I didn't really feel like going into this fight over $20. I just gave them the $20 that a beautiful being out in Holyoke, Massachusetts gave to me just before I left. And of course I wrote, "It's illegal to use the legal name on the money," because that's what I do all the time. And so she took it, and then she put me back on the bus. So check this out. Ta-da! I go to the bus, and when I get there, it's full, and there's not one seat available. Now, it's funny that she actually put me on the bus. And then so I go back, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized that there is no seat available. That was kind of weird. And then I said okay to that, and I just waited for things to unfold because I knew I was going to continue to travel. There wasn't anything they could do to me because I didn't do anything wrong. And so she went into the computer and she found me another road to continue traveling. However, here's the kicker. I had to wait almost half a day because from 7 o'clock in the morning till midnight, that same day, what is that, like 12 hours or something like that, that's when I would continue my journey. So I got detained 12 hours for nothing, for absolutely nothing. And they charged me $20 for that. That's the system for you. And so, yep, that's what happened. And so what I did was is that I patiently, went about my business the whole day. I did some yoga and relaxed and did some reading and talked to people and told several people about the legal name, being illegal and all that, and got into a few conversations of that. And all I did was plant seeds all day with the people around me within my now at that time, in that now time. And so that's how I passed the time. And then I continue my journey. I'm from that moment on, I had a lovely journey, except that when I got to, I think it was Oakdale or Dale, something like that in Ohio, this time it was my oversight. I was texting a beautiful van out in Holyoke, and I missed the bus. And then I said, I had never missed the bus before. So I said to myself, oh my goodness. I told the lady, I just missed my bus. It was my fault, and how can I continue this journey? And she goes, oh, no problem. No, I will. We'll help you. And she went in and immediately got me another bus that will actually get me there an hour earlier.
Wow.
Than the previous ticket.
Creation help you for sure. Wow.
Yes, and they did not ask for an legal name or anything like that because it is illegal. Everybody out there in the universe, it's illegal to use a legal name. And so it was beautiful because I left within a couple hours, and my whole entire journey was very peaceful. Everyone was very loving. I met and then on top of that, I had left all my carry-on bags on there because all my other bags went on that journey. And so the lady on the next bus stop, her name is Joanne, so I have to send a special hello to her because I did give her our website, Stories from the Heart, so she can listen to us on the radio, and she was interested. So I'm saying hello to her from Greyhound. She was absolutely fantastic. Never asked for an ID or anything like that. She went and got my bags, and the only thing that I did not get returned was food, but I felt, universe, whoever got that food, they needed to have some good, healthy food. So I'm glad somebody enjoyed that food, but I got everything back returned to me. So it was beautiful.
Perfect.
It was perfect. And then when I got here safely and all well, and I was waiting for Eagle and Bert to arrive. And Bert had told me that they were going to arrive in some silver truck. I was looking out for the silver truck, and all of a sudden I come out, and there's this gentleman sitting by a blue truck, and he asked me, oh, you're waiting here? I said, yeah, I'm waiting to get picked up. I just got that in from Massachusetts. And then he goes, oh, well, that's nice. And it was Eagle playing it off like he didn't know me. And then all of I can hear him laughing in the background. Yeah, I got you, bro. And then all of a sudden, Bert appeared right in front of my face because I didn't know what they looked like or anything. And he just looked at me. And then I looked at him and I said, well, maybe this is Bert. I had to wait for them to talk. And then he goes, and then he just looked at me and said, it's you. And he goes, yeah. And then we just hugged. and then I hugged Spirit Eagle, and of course Tommy, the gorgeous, beautiful golden eye dog with gorgeous silky brown hair or fur. And they were just wonderful. We got on the truck and came here, and everything's just been great. I've just been having a great time going to the mineral spring waters, riding my bike. And of course, I ride with that sign everywhere. And so what my experience over here thus far is that everyone waves at me. Car, truck, you name it. They wave, I wave back. And I've had two beautiful gentlemen stop me, one in a parking lot and one just getting out of a grocery market downtown, and having at least a 30-minute conversation about the legal name. And the first gentleman did not have any awareness of it, and he was so grateful for all the information that I wrote down for him to, look into our website, look into Kate's writing, just everything. He said it makes sense, and he was so happy. The other gentleman already had knowledge about that everything is upside down in this world, and that there was something behind the name. And so I gave him all that information, and so that was wonderful sharing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Since I've done mute. Oops. Okay.
Hold on. Our friend is saying it's Spirit Eagle is saying something. What is it?
Okay.
Why? Because you sign. Bye.
Oh yeah, and the reason that happened, he's reminded me to remind everybody that the reason those conversations occurred is because they see me on the bike with that sign that says legal name fraud, the truth, it's illegal to use a legal name, and they stopped me specifically because they read that sign. And then I do get a lot of stares and looks and people circulating back to read the sign or asking me to stop. They won't ask me anymore, but they ask me to stop so they can actually read the sign. But that happened to me. That happened to me also in Massachusetts, and so same thing happening over here. So that's the reason.
Fantastic. So you're driving around Arizona on your bike and you're waking up.
Yes, because it's about living it. It's about living it no matter where you go, where you travel. If we don't travel, how are we gonna break those barriers? How we not even break them, just open them wide open. Like the heart needs to be open. Open those hearts. Because every time I speak to a being, I am always speaking to their heart. And when I arrive here, I have to thank, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I'm going to say it, Irma and her beautiful husband, Adrian. I just adore them so much. They are so loving, such beautiful beings. They have been and continue to be so gracious. And I just feel so grateful to them because they're always, checking on us. Are we okay? She comes and cooks. They're just amazing, beautiful beings. I feel very grateful for them.
I didn't hear the names of these beautiful beings. What were their names?
Irma is the wife of and loving partner of Adrian, and they are the owners of the tire shop, and they are very interesting beings because Adrian shared with me that he does not use a birth certificate, that he doesn't have one, period. And so I thought that was really interesting. So when I first met him, he and I had a beautiful exchange of knowledge around how this is all fraud, and that he's actually, spoke with the IRS and confronted them on their fraud, to which they could say nothing. And so this man runs, exchange of energy with all beings that come here in need of a tire, exchange of a tire based on those principles. It comes from the heart. So I am humbled by their example. I truly am. And I thank them.
Thank you. Wow. What a story. This is good. Anybody else want
Yes,
to
it is.
and ask? Amara, is your calling right now, hon?
Yeah, I mean, Amari, it stems from love, because that's the word ama in Spanish in it. Or you could say ama or Amari. It's either one is fine, or Adi. And it's also a combination from my mother's name, who was the purest example of love in my life. And so in honoring her, I chose that name. And so, yes, Ama or Amari, truth.
So does anybody who's on board, we've got a lot of people on board that may want to ask you some questions or say.
I'd be happy to answer them.
Perfect. Or just say anything, add to the conversation.
Yeah, so that's thanks very much for the sharing of the story. Yeah, and as Libby says, if anyone wants to, comment or ask any questions, go right ahead now. And otherwise, we'll jump in for ask Eagle to come on and share. So. Okay.
Did you want to jump in? I see you unmuted your mic.
Eagle is speaking.
Oh, is
okay.
It? Okay.
So Adrian, those of you who may recall, shared with us all about a month or two ago, probably two or more. And he's the one known as A Eagle, because he and I, when I showed up here, once I left the Ark, I had nowhere, I couldn't think of anything. I knew I needed a tire. Creation, hello, coincidence, no, go there. So I did. And that's how I was guided here. And that's how that connection is deep with he and I as brothers. He and I have spoken deeply many now, and he and I both have visioned eagles.
I'm going to ask, and Amari, will you mute your phone if you can, because it's
I've muted her this end, so
okay.
So Adrian and I have shared both that we both had visions of eagles in what we call the dream state, the sleep. So we say, I call him A, or brother, or many various things, fuckhead, hey, Mexican short guy, whatever, and so he is that one on the show that was A Eagle and shared. Has no birth certificate, none whatsoever. So that is the connection. It increases and grows. And with Amari here, it assists Irma Dove in a lot of things, mainly receiving the truth or hearing the truth from a divine feminine voice deepens the knowing for her. They've heard it plenty from Bird and I when we sit and have coffee, at the sunrise when we just open the shop and all these things, or when we're about to close, etc. This really shows them a lot, and I've seen a lot of deeper breathing in Irma Dove and a lot more knowing from A Eagle. So it's quite beautiful. We have all these birds here. It's really, everyone flies. Come fly with me. Come fly, let's fly away.
The eagle's such a significant symbol, isn't it, for freedom? I actually have an eagle tattoo, so it's definitely feeling something a significant creature to use as a so beautiful. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's been something. I used to have nightmares of gears, all kinds of sizes of gears, and then sometimes you see them when you look at a picture show, and you see Lionsgate, and they show all those gears. That was it was a repetitive sleeping vision I had, and to this now, I don't get it. Yet, knowing that the Mayans say, for me on that supposed calendar day, blah, blah, that it is the day of the eagle. So that really got me, and I began seeing more eagles when the eyes were shut. And eagles supposedly go between worlds and blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know when I do that, when one does that, or one doesn't know yet. Okay. There's so much I don't know, and on the other side of it, Cynthia has brought so much truth to what I don't know, to bringing it to a knowing, and it all really clicked when I heard her sharing with us all at this table, and what Amari knows is grand. It's really cool. What she brings for me is I'm quieter, and I merely listen to her and Bird communicate, and I sit. No need for an interjection. It's already perfect. So I pet Tommy K9, and I listen to them, and we listen to them, and it's just been really perfect. And these are the things that we can all do when we create our spaces of love. So there's that. And I would like to say that everyone send their love to Cynthia, as she had a spat with some illness last evening, and at sundown. And let's just take that moment now and do that, please. I know you felt that, Sister Cynthia.
Coming from all over.
Because I did. There's a reason the eyes are watery right now.
Hi, it's Cynthia.
Yay.
We love you.
Love, love, love.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing a delivery for Turkey Day tomorrow. Okay. So, I haven't heard Eagle or Bird do a narrative of a document. So what are they supposed to comment on?
Oh, there you go. So are you going to read your document then, Bird? I mean, Eagle? Eagle?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Cynthia she's really the, I'm merely the pen guy. I'm the amanuensis to the composer, basically. Yes, I own it. It is mine, yes. I channeled it from Cynthia. How about that? So I will read it as it will be, as Governor Doug Ducey of Arizona fiction will read it. And it starts out, one's inter vivos will. 2, Governor Doug Ducey, and I will interject real quick. I'll come back and read it all again. That Cynthia shared with me. You don't do this. If you're going to do this and listen to me and what I'm sharing with you, you're going to do this with the knowing, with spirit, with soul, with it may be written on papyrus, yet it is your soul shown here. So anyone who thinks they can do this without the knowing, again, you heard that from Kate, if you're at this table, one must know. And so do not do this lightly, and Cynthia may have something to add to that.
I think
Or not.
I think I just fixed it. Yeah, carry on.
Okay, so it says, one's inter vivos will. To Governor Doug Ducey. Now, okay, imagine you take the paper, 8.5 by 11, and you fold it, the 8.5 side in half to the 11, and then you fold that in half, okay? Then you round those two corners, cut them off. So what we have here is I start at the top where I have stapled it. I was going to string it. I thought, no, let's make it simple for them. Stapled it, and I write, and I use the ink on papyrus from the right going around the outside, then to the inside, similar to a Fibonacci. Okay? So as I read, you'll be hearing maybe shuffling of paper, and I got to turn it. So there we go. One's inter vivos will. To Governor Doug Ducey and State Secretary Michelle Regan, both of the great fictional state of quote-unquote Arizona. And this is all in lowercase, not one even sigil is uppercase. My love, joy, harmony, and abundance to you and yours. This writing, the genuine article is me. You are reading an original. This is to inform you as to my standing. One is a man, quad pugnatore, or a non-combatant. Non-combatant is non-quad pugnatore. A non-combatant of the passum, or peaceful. That is Latin, passum, for peaceful. A private living man who dwells near, quote-unquote, Safford, on the county of Graham. One is born with soul, spirit, heart, with sound conscious mind within the living body temple. I am that I am, as one ascended out of purgatory, a non-citizen, non-person, non-residence. This self-certified document by the genuine article is before you. The fiction created when one was born under the divine, known to you as all derivations and variations of Randall Eugene Colmia, is not me. One is inter vivos. My friends call me Eagle. One's love and honor for the ancestry, bloodline, heritage, and all before me is unconditional, as it also is for those who seeded and germinated one as mom and dad or parents. One is in no context or pretext that last word known as Colmia, nor can one be it ever, as all signatures, autographs, contracts, registrations with anything construed as government was canceled upon conception, as there was a lack in full disclosure or comprehension. Also, any and all registrations connected to any presumed terrorists are no longer contracts, agreements, accords, or assumed acknowledgments of corpse orating fictions or non-living dead person men. One makes lawful claim to me, myself, the private living man. I'm going to turn the page. Thank you. Along with a tan 1983-84 quote-unquote Ford F-150 truck with a white camper top from quote-unquote Lear, along with its contents, tools, clothing, computer, book bag, truck, and all contents, as it was when your Trooper McBride 5436 instructed quote-unquote Nuttall's Towing to steal it after he tasered me with no verbal or written arrest warrant, while one was and always is in full honor a loving, peaceful non-combatant. One's love to all of creation's beings, no matter their knowledge, beliefs, size, language, or sentience as men see them. One's love for all beings, and always choosing no harm to any atom, redwood tree, microbe, or blue whale, and mountain and bodies of water, all forests and glades, all the earth is one's love, nunc pro tunc. Doug, as you are the commander-in-chief of the Arizona franchise fiction, and one is a private, living, peaceful, non-combatant, as a reminder, you, Doug, are responsible for all you and your downline's actions. This past June 14th, one was requested for emergency stop and did. Then, no just cause, tased, and after, one was unjustly kept imprisoned against the living man's will for no crime for 6 days. And then I give the number of their arresting thingy. DR 2016029652 for reference only, as there has been a mistaken identity, stolen photo, prints, and blood without one's consent and while in full honor. The tasing and tackling are crucial, as one experienced an accidental fall nearly 500 days ago, causing a double subarachnoid hemorrhage of the brain. And page turning. Now in the center, I have a heart, and then I spell out LUV. Doug, as per your status and this military action, one gives you a loving and fair 7, and then I spell out the sigil 7, days to have all my property returned to me from where and as it was taken the evening of this recent June 14th. As the property currently sits in a quote-unquote Nuttall tow yard, this 7-day fair notice, as one has been fully hindered in the path's forward momentum as one travels by the body and through it, operating the truck and all contents, as all are one's property, operated with love, peace, and honor, as creation deems one's soul with loving action. As one's numerous encounters on phone and face-to-face are recorded by me with your downline, some 22, and then I spell out the sigil 22, troopers, Sheriff Allred, who has received over 30 voicemails to no return call to me, deputies, towing group, and secretaries to gain honor by returning one's property has been met with their shielding ignorant cordiality. One's claim that these 22 of your downline have enacted tort crimes, to say the least, along with the living one's property, will need care upon return, batteries for tools and truck, and MacBook Pro computer, oil change, gas filter, and pump, along with tires. One's claim is for the return of all my property in a fair 7 days, along with gold or silver certificates, the fair and reasonable sum of $23,625. There is no dollar sign there. For more consideration, one will accept Federal Reserve notes of all and only $20 denominations. All monies must be current and usably accepted by any and all gas stations one may choose to visit. And then the heart and the love in the center. One's claim is for all 22 parties to receive training on properly, peaceably respectfully and lovingly share with the living, and that each one put in part of their earnings to cover the 23,625, which those of you know that adds to a 9. One suggests 1625 from Nuthall Toe, along with the removal of Trooper 5436 McBride from ever being paid anything while holding a gun, pistol, taser, billy club, or any weapon. 5436 past is well documented, along with him having hand tremors. He need receive the most accountability of the 22,000, along with the most training. One suggests a desk for him, as he is forgiven by me and may yet choose love opposed to terrorism. Doug, if you choose to not have this matter fully removed from the public and all property returned from where it was stolen in a fair 7 days, one holds the option of not only holding you and the arresting policy keepers, but all men party to this military action, as well as interdepartmental, i.e., for each department not following their own internal policies and procedures, held to federal, civil, UPU, UN, as well as the Archdiocese, as well as the highest and primary law in that of natural or divine universal law, along with the return of all property and additional fair consideration for grievances in this fair 7 days of you reading this living man's documentation of self-expression. You are to have all relevant systems and all so-called jurisdictions corrected. Otherwise, one holds the option of holding you, Doug, and Michelle accountable for war crimes. You must have this matter corrected as the heads of the fictional state. I don't give a fuck about any money. One is Eagle, a private living free man and without threat to you or anything, as one is a non-combatant loving the hip. One is not just blood and bone. I am that I am. And send you who read this my vibration of joyous, unconditional love in full honor, without frivolity, insultification, and without prejudice. This living private man of letters, known as Eagle, invites you, Doug, Michelle, His Excellency, FBI agent, UN, UPU, to call 1-405-695-2328. A considerate text a day before the call is considered best, as one chooses to give you full attention in voice. Nunc pro tunc. And in the center of that is a heart. My love to you who read this, there is an E with an eagle written, LUV, and I did forget the toe print on all of them, Cynthia, so forgive me their creation. And then Bird found a symbol known as Pax Cultura. It is a peace sign, not the peace sign. It is most likely before the peace sign. So there we go. And on the back of each page, there is harmony to you, love, a heart, eagle, Pax Cultura, peace to earth. This living man without frivolity nor insultification and in full honor without prejudice, love to you with the big E. Love to all who read this, heart and E, eagle, the living, peaceful, non-combatant. Another one, my love to you, nunc pro tunc, eagle, a heart, peace, love, abundance to all who read this. My love to you on my property returning to me after the first page. And then a big E with a heart in the center, and then the Pax Cultura. And that is as it is.
Well, I can't do any better than that.
That's very beautiful.
Thank you to Cynthia.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some similar guidance from Cynthia a few years back and has been great help to me. Yeah, that's
We're
beautiful.
going to call you Wonder Woman, Cynthia.
Healing will follow rapidly.
Oh, I don't see myself as they say, anything special. I'm supposed to, that's all.
Yeah, you fulfilled your role and part of this whole game and journey, but you've been great guidance to so many of us.
Right.
Greatly appreciated beyond measure.
In fact, some parts I think he did better than I would have than I did initially. When I first started. As they say, when you have a good jumping point, you can go higher when you got the jumping board in the swimming pool to jump higher.
Well, Cynthia, that is thanks to creation, really. The table, all those who are before me at this table, everything that this being, this God yet to be created, this, I feel like we're all God's in training, really, because we've been living such a lie for so long that to shake that off and say, oh, that's truth, is courageous. We're not them, yet for us, it's merely the thing to do. We're the ones who ask why. We're the ones who say, that's wrong, stand up. Whether it's a paperclip being thrown out the window or someone being taken in because they're houseless and have a beard and a backpack and they're attempting to stay warm and sleep with some cardboard boxes from a grocery store in the back of it, you know? So we've got to, enough with this terrorism. You know, they're told in their oaths, even that is some truth, I guess. It is a lie at the beginning, yet the truth of it is, in their oath, it is terrorism, foreign and domestic. Now, if domestic means something different in Black's law, then please do clarify. I believe domestic to mean a foot away from you and beyond, as far as the eye can see. So it's merely stop abusing your fellow man. Done. You know, if 23,625 comes back, whatever creation brings, great. That'll be shared for the next space I go to with all at the table and even then some. Really all I want, truck and all the contents. My property, my sweat equity, this one. It's not after this now, come sun up tomorrow, I am clearing it all from me so that me may move forward. Living in the past is not where I recommend anyone be. If it were a truck, a car, a zero, every tool that is in the physical can be held in a hand. Those tools, not just the ones in the heart, the intuition, and the right brain. And yes, the left brain can be tooled. Those returned. So other than that, it's thievery. No more, no less. No one steals from this one. The next step, I guess, would be I gotta clear it. I don't know. Creation will show me. So.
Well, that's the other consideration, is that the frustrating thing being those at the top, whether they're going to act morally and ethically, or are they going to act corruptly with ego, power, and greed? And usually there has been found those in positions that when enough people talk to them and try to educate them, there are those that will actually listen in these government positions. It's just a matter of getting enough people to talk to them and
Uh-oh, did she drop? I think she did.
Sounds like it. Yes, I do not see 240 on, so I guess she's dropped. No doubt she'll call back in.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll hear more. In the meantime, what I suppose is probably no point. We've got a message in here on the chat, and I'd like actually to read that to Cynthia. Did you see that there, Libby?
Yeah, I did see that, and it's so interesting because whoever that is that wrote that, my take on that was, it's not like, it would be really great if this worked, but it's doing it. It's the actual act of doing it and freeing yourself with your heart and soul on paper, in your own words, the words that they should recognize, but whether they care to or not, it's not why people are doing it. We're doing it for our own, humanity's freedom. And whether the system wants to accept it or not is their problem, because it's all going to wash out in the end.
Right. Looks like we've got Cynthia back, though.
Oh, good. Okay. So you want to read it to her?
Yes.
Yeah, Cynthia, just while you were off there, I've noticed there's a message in the chat here, and I'd like to read that to you because somebody's just making a point of opinion here. Everything you wrote doesn't matter. They still hold the title of the name to use, even if you don't use it. The title your parents gave them via live birth certificate, converted to birth certificate, title that you once used to get an ID, the courts still have rights to use the name title that your parents gave the government. They don't care if you use it or not. They still use it for you. Nor do you have rights to use their legal books, words, or definitions. They hold the title to those books, have titles. Also, that none of you hold title to use. That's just been put in here by somebody who's going by ZZXX, I think it is.
Well, my only reaction to that is that technically our parents gave to us a lawful given one-worded name.
Right.
And that name, as well as a separate, either what's considered an honorary or a baptismal name, which in fact is ours. It was given to us, however, for fair consideration, the intention of those two separate names was not meant to be combined or co-joined. But of course, anybody has the free will choice to do so. Now, just for technical consideration, nothing more, if you make fair claim only to your lawful, not legal, but lawful given name and your lawful honorary or baptismal name, can you not then fairly express that you yourself are in no capacity, context, pretext to be considered that last word? However, you do hold lawfully by nature 2/3 majority ownership to said state created name. Now, wait a minute. The reason being that there was in fact no disclosure and no comprehension as such. In fact, one's parents and yourself by nature hold 2/3 majority ownership to that state created name, because 2/3 of that name by its nature is our property. Now, again, technically making no claim to that legal last word, however, making fair 2/3 majority claim to that entity by the fact that it was created with no consideration and no disclosure, and there was clearly no comprehension or disclosure to your parents. Now, I do know that there are a number of people that are not only having their birth record authenticated, but then they are having it recorded. My only concern with having that authenticated birth record recorded is if the recorder puts a stamp on that authentication paper, because the authentication paper self-expresses that if there is not only any damage, but any other marking on it, it cancels that. Now, I myself am fully knowledgeable and comprehending that there are two considerations. One is to return the birth record to said state, and if you do so, it is, of course, very important and relevant that you express that you are returning to them their property. But again, just for consideration on a separate technical concept from returning them their property is to making fair claim to your own property by nature, so that it can no longer be pillaged and raped. That's all I can say.
Well, thanks very much for that. That's really good. If ZZXX has anything else to say, you're welcome to come on and speak, or you can leave more messages if you like. But meanwhile, Cynthia, please continue with what you were sharing from your having listened to Eagle's sharing of his beautiful writing and heartfelt words.
Oh, I mean, the only thing I can say in reaction is that there's no guarantees on anything. It's really a matter of trying to reach the heart out of that brainwashing with the issue of the oath and the money and their title and position, all of it, trying to get them in those so-called power positions, the fiction I call it, the military, to rediscover their own heart and give fair consideration of what they are in fact involved in.
Yes, yes, indeed, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, this is really, at this point, this is the best we can do, is communicate with these people who are playing roles in these so-called government, whatever they are, they're fiction to us. But yes, to be able to express and feel that there's a chance that somebody might actually listen and comprehend and actually morally act on such communication. So it will be interesting to see what actually does occur from this. Eagle, I think you did the most beautiful job. I felt it myself coming through my heart, and where you expressed your feelings from your heart. I mean, I don't know how any living human couldn't actually feel that. So, yeah. Fantastic. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sharing. Wow, and this is something, you know, more and more of us are doing. The more that people do express to these people in these so-called positions of authority and power, this is wonderful that more and more people are willing to do this. So, I mean, I did my share of, a share of writing, thanks to some great guidance again by Cynthia. And I think it's had some effect, just given my experiences. So we will be very, very interested to, you know, feel any further progression from this. Yeah, so if anyone else has got any thing to share to do with this, anyone else at all that's here listening, we'd love to hear from anyone. Cynthia, if you've got anything else to share. I think meanwhile, while I'm just talking about you there, Cynthia, I'd like to draw everybody's attention to this week's post for the Stories from the Heart show, 26th of November 2016. This is today's show. It's posted up on the justiceradionetwork.net website. There's some links to Cynthia's biography, her will and testament training.wordpress.com course. If anybody's interested in the work Cynthia does, that's the place to go. There's various links here on this page, and then down to also a big shout out for anybody that's got any spare FRNs, or even if you're not thinking they're spare, but you might like to share a few. Cynthia and her partner Alpha getting closer to maybe losing their current home, and anybody that could just share a few FRNs, that would be fantastic. There's a link on there. It's in blue, so that would be wonderful if anyone could share. And then beyond that, we've got some lovely links to the creation. We're always talking about being creative, and this is one of the most fantastic things that all of us can do in this world, is to be creative. And Libby was just sharing about what she's just been creating, one of her new things. Cynthia creates a lot of beautiful stuff as well, and there's some links here on this page, and I would invite you all to just scroll down this page down to where we've added the links to Cynthia's work. It's just I think it's really great when we can share each other's creativity, and my full knowing is that when we're creative, we are less vulnerable to these malevolent forces. So please, take a few moments to go and take a look at those links. It'd be well worth it. So meanwhile, let's Libby, do you have something to? I know you're kind of jumping in there a little bit. If you'd like to share your thoughts with all this sharing, that would be great.
Oh, well, absolutely. I'm actually reading something Steve posted in the group chat, so I'll read it out loud. Right. Can you say who your original mother is? Or do you believe the story you were told? Can you honestly say you know who birthed you? It would be your original mother, Gaia, remember? All else is trivial, stories of theft of who you are. And that's so true. I mean, when we look at how we're each fighting in our own way, the system that seems so unforgiving and so unremedial, and we're doing it, and there's some that are doing better than others, but we're all doing it. And Eagle's letter certainly went to my heart, and you could see the student became a teacher in some levels because he really took it where he took it. And the question from GZN is a good thing for us to look at too, to see like we are trying to let the system know we know what you're doing. We're not in consent with what you're doing. We know who we are, and we are gaining in numbers more and more people. We're joining forces. And Cynthia, you are really an integral part of us learning all the various steps, like as is Gemstone and Kurt, and what we did learn from Kate, and what we're learning from each other. This is such vital information.
Pioneers, that's the word I would use. All these people you just named there are pioneers in this. It's not a fixed thing. It's not a done deal. It's not something that it definitely has every certainty of working. But like, if you don't give it a go, we're not going to get anywhere. So I call these beautiful souls that are sharing this, doing all this research, the amount of research Cynthia, Kurt, Ken, Kate, all these people have done to get us to have even a small comprehension of what's been going on. So that's exactly right, Libby, when you're saying that, if we don't put some of this stuff into the system, we're stuck at status quo. So,
yeah.
Right?
And look what Amari's been able to do just by riding her bike around and getting the attention and being the beautiful, joyful person she is. She's changing people that way. And she's helping Eagle and Bird, even, in ways that, who knew? It's so beautiful. This is what happens. The alchemy is happening.
Right.
And it's very exciting. So yes, Steve, I agree. We are all Mother Gaia's children, and we are so much more powerful, and this whole system is changing.
Oh, I'm just so happy that there are people that are willing to take action without being in fear.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that are in so much fear that they won't even write a simple letter, which to me is silly.
And that's the thing, you see, they feed on the fear, they being the system, the hidden hand, whatever we want to call it. Fear is what is being pushed at us, all the things that they create to get us in fear. But when we can transcend that fear and have those experiences that I myself have had to have transcended quite a lot. I'm not going to say I'm fearless at this point, but I'm getting there. And we do not feed that beast so much when we get out of fear, and that we realize and recognize that we can do, like you've just said, a simple letter. What can be more simple than just to use your heart knowing as a living being to express yourself. And this is the beauty of your work, Cynthia, is that it's all about self-expression. And when we're allowed to step back into our authenticity and become capable of expressing from our hearts with support and encouragement from those who have gone there before us and are going there alongside us. This is all about this family spirit and support and encouragement, and that's what Libby and I have been using as our little kind of mantras. That's what we're here to do, is support and encourage each other. We can't do it for each other, but we can always support and encourage each other. And that's what this little group is about, this Stories from the Heart. It's all about, it's heart stuff. Without our hearts, we're not living. We're not being our true authentic selves. And that's really the problem that's happening, I feel, worldwide, is that those that have forgotten who they are, they've got to wake up and get back to who they really are. And I think that's when we make progress. And this is what this type of letter, it might be the thing that makes somebody say, wait, wow, he's right. Reading this, wow, shit, I've forgotten. It's fantastic. Really beautiful stuff.
These are all seeds, all beautiful seeds being planted, and they all will germinate. They are germinating in ways we can't even tell sometimes. And then look what happens to, their stories are beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes, I would like to say that I feel so grateful to so many different beautiful beings out in Massachusetts. Yes, a lot of them did not offer me a place to stay. However, they helped me in other areas, of which I feel really, really, really grateful. Some were friends that I've known from 30, 20, 10 years. And I shared with them with the information. At first, they were not open to it. However, when over time, in the course of the year that I spent in that area, they saw that I never budged, and from my position of standing in truth. And come what may, towards the end there, when they actually heard my story on this radio, Stories from the Heart, for example, this lovely gentleman that I've known since, or have heard of since my 20s, came to know more better in my 30s. Domingo, I just want to say I'm so grateful to you and your kindness. And he had studied law and passed the bar. And I want to publicly say before the entire universe that he is my hero for actually not choosing to practice, quote unquote, practice the dark arts of law in using a legal name. He saw right through it and chose not to practice law because he saw how corrupt it was. And we're talking, I don't know, 25 years ago. And he chose to do work in other areas and help the people that were most in need. So I just want to really say thank you. And he of course didn't understand what the hell I was talking about when I got in. I was telling him, oh, look what I discovered, for myself, for humanity. But when he heard my story and what happened in the forest and how I had broken it down to the local police within his own town, he put two and two together in his own head. And when I went and knocked on his door, I said, do you understand what I'm talking about now? And he goes, I bow down to the goddess.
That's
and he got it. And I was so happy. And then from there on, our conversations were very different. He was more open. He's actually looking more into what Ken Scott is talking about. He's more willing to listen to what Kate has to say. It just opened up a whole new universe for him. And I just feel really grateful for that. And my beautiful friend from Texas that I knew from when I was the union rep, when I had that job back in Texas, in San Antonio, her name is, not her legal name, this is not her legal name, but she knows who I am. I think she may be listening because I sent her the information to call in. I refer to her as Divinity. She has been so loving and so supportive with me while I was out there in the forest. She was on the phone with me every day, practically checking up on me, making sure I was okay. And what a true friend, what a real true friend she turned out to be. Just awesome. And she at first, didn't quite was listening, but she was open. And I knew that eventually she would come around, but she totally gets it. She's all about it. She wants to make a trip out here to come visit us, Bird, Eagle, and myself, and Tommy, and Irma, and Adrian. And so we hope that can happen. And also my friend from Texas, down when I was in McAllen, Danny, he too, he's out in Las Vegas right now. And I have to thank him because he bought me some natural hemp medicine so that I can get better. Because before embarking on this trip on Peter Pan bus / Greyhound bus, I was not doing too well physically, and because of him paying for, it was very expensive. He paid for that medicine. So I need to mention that because it's so important for these beings who are still in the system, by the way, but they know they're not the legal name, but they're using the system in order to make it right, to correct it in the best way that they can. And these are beings that have been in my life for quite some time. They've seen, my true character over time and my growth process and learning all this. And I've always shared with them. I've always shared to anyone who was willing to listen. And same goes out to another gentleman out in Massachusetts, Sunheart. He also knows what's going on. He's looking into a few things. So, I just feel really honored by all of you and grateful. And I want to mention all of them because I want them to know when they listen to this that I really, really, really feel your hearts. And I know that you are great, big, huge beings with big hearts. And I know that you all will do the right thing for yourself, your family, and for those around you, because this is our true purpose in life. It is to unfold and walk and stand and be in the truth, that we are not legal names, we're not legal entities, IDs, stupidids, okay? We are, that is not what we are. We are truly here to express the highest beingness of our true being, which is love and truth and kindness and goodwill towards all humanity, towards all the animal kingdom, towards the plant kingdom, towards all of creation. And that I know is the truth, because I feel so much joy and in my heart, in my beingness, that it literally does leave me speechless at times. I just cannot talk because it just, I feel so full of all those feelings. I told Spirit Eagle when I first met him, because we're all trying to like get to know each other, and and all that. And I just told him, look, I'm really just a simple gal here. I just feel myself through the universe. The most precious thing in my being are my feelings. My feelings, how my body feels, every cell in my body, it tells me, what is that I'm doing right, correct, and that which is what I'm doing wrong. When I look back when I was using a legal name and I was asked to do things that I didn't feel right to me, and I knew it didn't feel right to me, and I still did it because it was my job, quote unquote. No, it did not feel right. I know better now. I do not need to do those things to cause harm to other people. Like when I worked in a Teachers Federation and they were trying to get rid of a teacher because of XYZ. I didn't feel that that was correct. I wasn't going to participate in that. I made it known to everybody at the Teachers Federation headquarters that, this is incorrect. We should not do this to this being. This is wrong. And I always found a for the most part, I can't say always because sometimes it didn't go the way I wanted, but for the most part, I can say that I made decisions based on my feelings, what felt correct, even if it meant breaking their rules. And yes, I broke many. And yes, I did get away with a lot of that. And it goes back from my school days. When I was a young little girl, I would not go to school because it was so, fucking boring. I didn't feel like I was learning anything, and so I prefer to go for a walk, and I would play hooky a lot of times, and I got away with that, never got caught. But those times that I was alone, walking through flower fields and being with the river, I was so at peace, and I felt like I communed with all of creation. That to me was the bigger education for me. And I do not regret any of it. It was meant to be. That's why creation said, leave her alone. And so there you go. As birds love to say, there you go.
Beautiful, Amari. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, Cynthia here. I can totally relate to the last thing you're talking about with walking in nature alone and not wanting to deal with school, because I was initially put in public school, and then my parents wanted to put me in private school thinking it was better, but there was still a matter of bullying and being degraded. So it's funny because my parents said, if you do not get better grades, then we'll put you back in public school. Well, considering how badly I was being treated in the private school, I opted to flunk out so I could go back to the public school. But of course, even in the public school, it was funny because I would ask so many questions of the teacher. The teacher at one point told me point blank, why don't you just go to the library? So I was basically told by the teacher that I could actually learn by going to the library versus being in the classroom. So I ended up basically living my school time in the library. And since I grew up in Rappahannock County, 35 acres, Rappahannock River, with an actual full mile, if not 2 mile walk to the bus stop and home, oftentimes I was walking out in nature totally on my own. And as some people may think I'm crazy, but in a matter of speaking, I was actually talking to the gods, because I had internal conversations that were very interesting. So I can totally relate.
I could totally relate to that too, Cynthia. I did the same thing. I talked to the rocks and the water, and It was just so incredibly beautiful for me. I remember a professor back in my early years in college out at Millersville University in Pennsylvania. There was this English professor that said, okay, I could tell a fake writing when it's fake. So don't make something up, because I'll be able to know if, you know, I want you to write about something that is actually happening in the moment. And then I'm like, oh my God, this guy has no imagination. I'm going to totally write him something fucking fake and he's going to believe it. And that's exactly what I did. And that's an internal conversation that I have with myself. And I went and I did this description of eating something and how it tasted, and it was so incredibly convincing that he gave me an A.
Cool.
And I did the exact opposite of what he asked, and that just goes to prove that the imagination can make up anything.
That is so funny. I love it. I hope you don't mind. I want to share my own rebellious action when it comes to school. There was a point when I was in private school where I had done something that upset the teacher. So she wanted me to handwrite some sentence, something like 25 times. Well, since I had computers in the house before they were in the corporations of the schools, I opted to instead write a code or a script that would essentially type it out for me. And what was funny is that the teacher, when I handed it over, essentially knew what I had done. And she basically said, well, I'll let you get away with it this time, but just don't do it again.
Great. That's awesome.
Okay, well, we're rounding up to 8 o'clock. Does anybody else want to jump in so that we can add to this beautiful conversation? Otherwise, just keep on continuing. It's wonderful to hear you.
Yeah, good stuff. There's some great sharing. You know, that what this is what this is about, is to share, you know, our experiences. And probably most people on this call have been rebellious in certain ways, and probably come around for the best for that, you know, being your authentic, unique self. And that's really what's got us to where we're at, is because a lot of us have been able to say no to being told what to do and what to be, and to be our own authentic selves. So those are great stories. I really appreciate them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. One is grateful to all. One is grateful.
I am grateful, and I feel grateful. I feel really grateful. And to everyone listening, in the now or in the future, or whenever you get to this listening and sharing here, we are the living examples of how we can create something really beautiful in the right here and the right now, and for it to be a continuum in which we choose not to cause harm to all of life, all of creation, all of existence. And by being that example, Gandhi said something really beautiful. It's a really famous quote, be the change that you wish to be. Well, that's what we're doing. So tune in every week, because we're going to continue to share, and new people will be coming to this table. I can see that easily happening, as it has been happening. It's going to continue to happen in this ever occurring moment of now. And the only way we can change this is by choosing to be that change right here, right now, to carry it through, all the way through, come what may, and stand in truth no matter what. That's it. It really is easy, and there is no fear when you know the truth. The truth is completely liberating. It feels amazing. And I can't imagine life without the truth, because there really is such thing as the truth. All that is apparently that people perceive as legal is really illegal. And the one true lawful, true law is that we are love, that we are truth, that we can be kind, that we can turn things around, that we are capable, and all we need is the willingness to do so. And I have the willingness. And so I invite everyone who is listening in whatever now moment you're listening to give yourself that opportunity to have that open heart, to open it wide open and see all the beauty that will with certainty unfold. That is my experience. That is what I'm sharing. I will continue to share.
Beautiful, sister.
Witness. Yes, one witness is that. Believe it. She showed up here, and it's witness after I witnessed things like, okay. May not say it out loud, but it's a lot of okay. Why argument? What's argument? Argument is the ego gone amok. No, the one chooses the opposite of that. So that's what I say to all and to Amari. It's I witness, one witness, and
there are many times to say.
I like to say a little something. I have to mention Luis Flores' name, a beautiful artist from Holyoke, Massachusetts. He's caretaking my art right now on behalf of my brother, who will inherit my art. Well, unless I give it away to whoever. I'm really not interested in making money with it. I mean, if someone wants to offer a donation, fine, but if not, I give it from my heart. But I have to mention him because that man just came through for me, and he's listening right now. I love you so much. Thank you so much all the times you've helped me. And Marco and Rose, thank you so much. They all, gave me a little cash and just really there for me. And I love you all so much. And my heart is always with you, and I need to express that because it has to be said. And I want to acknowledge them. It's beautiful beings, and thank you.
And on that note, let's acknowledge all the people that have been proxies for us in the past and present or in the future, because none of us would be able to do this without the little blessings that you have given us, or the bigger blessings you have given us along the road. So thank you. Thank you to all the people that are still in this system, but are therefore able to help so many more people from staying in the system. So to you, I say thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, there certainly have been so many people helping us all the way through this. And again, it's the support and encouragement of people, the willingness to do what they can to encourage us through this journey. It's a very unusual one, and many that hear about what we're doing, many can't even start to comprehend what we're doing or why, but then there's those that really can, and they want to support us. And again, we have to appreciate every single one that's been instrumental in this whole journey to guide us through and help us through and support us through. And yeah, we absolutely appreciate. And with the few things that people have just been mentioning in the last few minutes, one particular poem of mine popped in. This was one of those very much from the heart ones. I actually entitled it Okay. And it goes like this: away, away are the thoughts today. No longer any need to stay in a place that isn't real. Today, all wounds, it's time to heal. Be not sad, do not cry. Be not solemn, and do not try to make anything come to pass. This is not school. You're not in class. Reap rewards, but be not proud. Be always graceful and never loud. Be content, but be not lax. 'Tis time to take action. Then relax. Treat each day as a gift. This way you'll always feel the lift. You will move along, and as you go, know you're in your perfect flow. Love your family, your friends, your foes. Come within for answers. 'Tis me that knows that you're authentic. You're no pretender. Now to creation, simply surrender. That just felt kind of appropriate with what's been discussed
Oh,
today.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks. So beautiful, Jolly.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, all of you. What you've all been sharing, it's been really beautiful. This is very, very heartfelt, full stuff. This is people are being very authentic with what we're sharing today. I really, really appreciate that. Everything that everyone's sharing here. So thank you, all of you. So if anyone else has got anything from the heart, that's what it's about. Stories from the heart, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I would say, again, in the not so literal words of Cynthia, do not take these efforts lightly of writing a letter. There are certain words that are legality. Yet, we all know intent is the true guidepost. Do they? So base it on that. That's, for me, where when she said, well, now when you say I, that means yes, and you know that, I know, talk about it. And other things. Say one, you are one. One is blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Learn these things, maybe, your choice, free will. And follow your heart, yes? That I feel already a release, not a release, a clearing beginning. One feels it. Forward moving, eyes front. So that's where we go. Next chapter begins for one. Thank you all for every bit of support, and love you. Mainly Bird, because he has seen me with such just fucking rage and upset over nothingness that is tied to the past because of the connection to those physical items that mean nothing. They are tools. Okay, it's a MacBook Pro. It costs $2,500. Big fucking deal. When the physical goes, are you taking it with you? and I gotta say, he has been a brother. Zero, Shock, Jolly, Becky, everyone, Jules. Oh, the divine feminine, and now of the last few sunrise, Amari has shown me things I don't know that she's shown me, yet she's shown me, and I've been, okay, oh, that connects to so-and-so, into that, and ooh, and then the breathing comes deeper. One knows when the breathing goes deeper, boom. And Cynthia did that a lot. And this took, what, Cynthia? It's been about a month since we've been sharing, I believe. Possibly longer. She said one of the first things she shared was, be patient. Okay. one said in return. Okay, so here we go. Now, let's turn that proverbial Fibonacci page, and it's unwritten. Just say okay. Just say okay.
Just say okay. Just say okay.
Yay. Love you all. Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Jolly, for having a place where those of us who choose to create what we see in our minds and hearts and minds.
You guys make me smile, you know. I turned my camera back on because I was grinning so much. This is such a beautiful family, and there's such beautiful intention in here, and anyone that hasn't got good intention, you know, that's okay. We know we're all here for a purpose, and but you guys make me smile, so I appreciate you all beyond measure. Yeah, Libby, you too, you know, like, it's just so beautiful to be, and I'm here still in the beautiful home here of Reiki Mela, and these people make me smile too. They are such beautiful energy, and we had a beautiful walk in the woods yesterday with another soul sister who I found during the summer, and she was able to join us yesterday for our walk, and that was just another beautiful experience. And she was like, wow, I found some soul family too. She was delighted to have found us as well. I met her through my dear friend Star. And it's just more and more beautiful people just keep coming and being attracted into our experiences. And I've just got so much appreciation. It's that, again, is beyond measure for everyone, and the sharing and the experiences. This stories from the heart thing is just, it's way bigger than anyone can imagine. I think that the good it can do to us all, the sharers and the listeners. Thank you, all of you, for everything you each contribute just by being here, listening, those that are just listening. And, you know, anybody that's got something to say, you can jump on in here and open up your mic and pop up in there and, you know, say something, and anyone is welcome, as long as it's part of this good intention of sharing good experiences, and experiences that don't maybe feel so good in that moment of now, that turn out to be, as Libby says, a gem. Come on in and share it. So we're welcome. And today, when we get to the point that we've all shared enough, I'm going to share the creation I made from my heart about what I feel that humanity truly is. Although humanity does seem to have a few problems, and I know a lot of people don't like using the word human because so it supposedly means beast and this and that and the other. I don't care what the word means to other people. I know what it means to me, and that's the beautiful, authentic living beings that we are. And I use the word human because that's what resonates with me. I know, you know, other people can say Hugh means this and man means that and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about what the words mean. I know what I mean. I'm sharing from my heart. All the words I use are from my heart. And mostly they get interpreted in the way in which I mean them. Occasionally, you know, I might not put the energy correctly and it doesn't come through the way I intend it. But for the most part, I think a lot of us are moving towards using words from our hearts. And when we're sharing with our sisters.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Is there.
Did you mean to jump in?
Okay. So, yeah, I think I got the point over. But, again, you know, thank you all for being here and, you know, sharing.
And I love the fact that we're bringing one into it, because we are of the one, and we are the one of ourselves. And it's so beautiful. So a good term, one is enjoying this show. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, definitely enjoyable, and always is, you know, with these stories. I'll have a little travel adventure this, well, tomorrow, this time tomorrow, hopefully we'll be arriving in my next sojourning location. And
I love what you're going to play for the end here, sister. So thank you so much. You did that. That was a beautiful creation. One did.
Yeah, I think it's still appropriate. It works. It's what I feel from my heart of what and who we really are. If anyone's interested in looking for it afterwards, I have it posted up on my Jolly Good Sense .me site underneath the tab Know Who You Really Are. It's something I created a couple of years ago, and I updated it maybe a year or so ago. It was something I was actually inspired by the Oasia's manifesto to share something myself, and I just started writing, and I wrote a bunch of words to express just my message in that moment, and now from my heart. And at that time, I was still somewhat wounded and still somewhat lacking confidence. And I remember when I read the words out to the music the first time, I got to the part that says, "You're beautiful, you are worthy." And at that point, I still had problems with being worthy. And when I said that word, worthy, my voice broke because I didn't believe it. But I've come quite a long way now, and I do believe I'm worthy now. And quite interesting to be able to notice that and acknowledge that sort of thing in our own growth and journey, that we've come through so many areas whereby we have beliefs of not being good enough. And, you know, certainly I had a big, if not worthy one. I believed for so long I wasn't even worthy to have friends, and I couldn't even look somebody in the eye, let alone look somebody in the eye and say, "I'm so happy to have you as a friend." Because I used to just cry when I'd say that, because I didn't believe that I was worthy of having any friends, which is like amazing to acknowledge that now, this many years on, because, you know, definitely 10 years ago, I still would probably be in that condition. And I've come a long way, and I'm so grateful because of this family. I've been able to share, and I've been able to hear the stories, and it all just goes in a beautiful big circle of some type of energy that we get to recognize that we're here for each other, but we're here for ourselves as well. And getting that balance is fabulous. So Libby, you beyond, you know, you've always been there for me. You were the one that was there to support me in those moments when I was really sort of feeling, shit, what have I done?
Well, you know, it's that invisible thread we all have, but you and I particularly have that strong invisible thread that we know, and it's time to connect. And I'm so grateful for being part of this, and I'm so glad we did it. And I'm so grateful to Star that she started it. And, you know, this is the thing, you start to see the connection of the dots, what we thought we knew and now what we realize we didn't know. I mean, there's this really incredible video I watched. It's about an hour long about, did we ever really have forests, or do we now have forests? It blew my mind. And I do highly recommend it. I'll find a link and put it in the Stories from the Heart chat room. But like we knew nothing, and now we know so much, and we also know that it's all upside down and inside out, and we have to base it on our hearts and not the programs that have been placed into us. I'm so grateful for you and all our listeners. And yay. For your encouragement.
Yeah. The brothers and sisters, I was just saying to Reikam today, we've only actually met in the physical, I think it's about probably close to 6 weeks ago now. And it's like we've known each other all our lives. It's the same with Mela. She's my sister. I love her. And him and the two young people here, they are awesome beings, all individual, every one of them, their own authentic, unique self. I love them each individually, and I love them as a family. And who would have known that we could have connected with such strong knowing in every direction that we are soul family. And I've just had the most incredible adventures here with this beautiful family, and again, beyond measure of appreciation. And you know, Reiki expressed it to me as well, how appreciative he is that I was here and to share. And, you know, the beauty is I can be completely myself here then. I don't hold anything back anymore. I'm my own completely silly self when that comes out, and every part of me I've been able to share here. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to do. So full appreciation to all. It's, yeah, this is the appreciation show, I think. It's turning into great sharing, you know, along the way. Yeah, and there's beautiful animals around here, and yeah, it's just fantastic. And I get to move on to some beautiful friends down in Florida to spend a few days before I go and start my work with the horses. And that's another fantastic thing, because these two are another pair of incredible souls that I connected with just through good old internet. Without the internet, I don't think I'd have hardly any friends.
We have an incredible virtual family.
That's your family.
That is so true.
When you meet them in the flesh, it's like, wow. It's like, this is so amazing. So, yeah. Thank you.
One thing from I received a text from Cynthia.
Yes.
She is grateful to you and Libby, and also to Amari, and tell her to tell Amari that her name is Amora. Oh yeah, Amari, right. Many thanks for her great soul travel story with empowerment. So there you go, sister.
Beautiful.
Aww. Hugs and kisses. Muchos besos. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Again, let's send some healing love.
Yes.
Love healing to Cynthia for her and what she's going through. So there we go. And again, well, you got it. You felt it. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of love to you, Cynthia. Mucho amor. Está en mi corazón. Te quiero mucho.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And yeah, let's keep sending the love, and the that's, you know, that'll help her heal. She'll be working on herself. I know that. She's a powerful, powerful being. And I'm just so grateful to everyone that's been on today. And this is what I'm going to share. This little creation I made a while back. And thank you all again for being here with us. And we'll be here same time, same place next week. Join us again. And
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Love you.
Love everyone.
Love to everyone. Bye, Libby, Jolly. Love you so much. Zero, wife, everyone. That's all.
This is a message to all humanity. Humans are beautiful. We are loving. We are kind. We love to give, and we love to receive. We are creative. We are each unique with a unique purpose. All of our experiences are excellent lessons for our growth. When we love, respect, and trust each other, and we live in harmony and balance with all around us, we reach a state of enflowment. When in the state of enflowment, it is simple to observe the one law for humanity: do no harm. When we step out of programs and conditioning where we strive to be normal, we can then find our true selves, and we can be who we truly are. When we use kindness, respect, and natural law, we are in a state of enflowment with love for all around us. Life here on planet Earth is amazing. Just look around and see what has been created. We are all magnificent creatures, just like creation itself. And we are all capable of creating such wonder. Stop, feel in your heart, know who you really are. Just sit with yourself, not with empty mind, but with contemplative mind. Ask your higher, inner, big self, who am I? Listen for the answers, allow them to come. Listen and feel the replies come to you. Remember that you are magnificent. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are strong. You are power. You are light. You are love. You are bright. Always remember, freedom is your divine right. Keep it always within your sight. Freedom gives you peace and love and joy. And your inner power you can then enjoy. Be free in mind and spirit and heart. Know that your life is a work of art. Be creative and love what you do and realize what is special about being you. I once wrote, let's break the pattern of copycats and please let's stop talking in numbers and stats. Let's be ourselves, different from the rest, and in our unique selves feel truly blessed. See your light and feel its power. Feel it from each and every hour. Embrace the dark and live in the light. And love everyone with all of your might. Look within, feel who you are. You are a wonder, you are a star. Find your true self, chock full of love. Breathe out your soul, you be who you are.